Good morning everyone. Welcome to the YouTube channel of the JVS Kannauj. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the terms which will ask in your competitive exam of the chapter 3 matrices. Before starting today's lecture, let me tell you that we have already completed all the topics of the matrix chapter which will ask in your board examination. Now today we are going to discuss some more topics which will ask in your competitive exam. So let us start today's topic. The first topic is triangular matrices. What is triangular matrix? So the definition of the triangular matrix is a square matrix which is either upper triangular or either lower triangular. We have discussed in the general lecture of the matrix upper triangular and the lower triangular. Now what is the definition of the triangular matrix? Triangular matrix is a square matrix which is either upper or either lower. Basically we can say that the upper triangular matrix is also a triangular matrix. Lower triangular matrix is also a triangular matrix. By name it is clear triangular matrix. So upper triangular matrix and the lower triangular matrix. It means that what is triangular matrix? Triangular matrix is a matrix which is which can be either upper triangular or it can be lower triangular. Now what is upper triangular matrix? We have discussed in the previous lecture. The upper triangular matrix, a square matrix in which all the elements below the diagonal elements, these are said to be the diagonal elements, and all the elements below, these elements are said to be the elements below the diagonal elements. See here, this can be, these all elements are said to be the elements below the diagonal elements. If you will make a shape and if you will compile these all the elements below the diagonal elements, then it will look like a triangle. It will look like a triangle. So by the same figure, by the triangular figure, the name is called the triangular matrix here. So what is the upper triangular matrix? A square matrix in which all the elements below the diagonal elements are 0. Below the diagonal elements are 0 are said to be the triangular matrix. Clear? What was the definition of the lower triangular matrix? A square matrix in which all the elements above the diagonal elements are 0. What are the elements above the diagonal? These all are the elements above the diagonal elements are 0 are said to be the lower triangular matrix. If you will see, if you will combine all the elements above the diagonal elements, it also just look like they are forming a triangle. Getting the point? Okay. Now some terms which is related to the upper triangular matrix. Upper triangular matrix in short form it is written as UTA. Upper triangular matrix. What is the definition of upper triangular matrix? A square matrix in which all the elements below the diagonal elements are 0 are said to be upper triangular matrix. How the upper triangular matrix can be denoted? So let A equals to Aij be a square matrix of order n. A square matrix of order n is said to be upper triangular matrix. We have already discussed these 2 points in the previous lecture. Again I am repeating all the things. So a square matrix Aij n by n is said to be the upper triangular matrix if Aij is equals to 0. Aij equals to 0. See from the figure, for the upper triangular matrix which Ai must be 0. Which Aij means the elements must be 0. Which Ai must be 0? 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, n1, n2, n3. So what is a specific condition here? Can we say in this all the zeros, we can say Aij equals to 0 for all Ij. For all Ij where I is, see this is the position I and this is the position J, Ij, if you will see, observe the pattern here, we can say I must be greater than J. Clear? So in general form, UTA, upper triangular matrix, can be defined as a square matrix Aij n by n, where Aij, all Aij must be 0 for all Ij where I must be greater than 0. Then these kind of matrices are said to be the upper triangular matrix. Clear? Okay. Now one more point is there in upper triangular matrix, a strictly upper triangular. A strictly upper triangular matrix. Now what is the meaning of a strictly upper triangular matrix? A square matrix in which all the elements below the diagonal elements are 0, also the diagonal elements are 0. Also the diagonal elements are 0 are said to be a strictly upper triangular matrix. At the same time, just I am writing an example here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 0, 0. Definitely this is your, all the elements below the diagonal elements are 0, so this is your upper triangular matrix. Now the another matrix here. All the elements below the diagonal elements are 0, including all the diagonal elements are also 0. So this is said to be the strictly upper triangular matrix. And how the general representation can be there? Aij, where n by n is a square matrix, and Aij equals to 0 for all I comma j. How is the condition? Where I is greater than or equals to j. See why I is greater than equals to j. See the position. These all the three elements. For these all the three elements, we can say the I is greater than 0. Now for all these three diagonal elements here, the position 1 1, 2 2, 3 3. So I can be equals to also 0 here. So this is the condition for the upper triangular matrix. And strictly upper triangular matrix, strictly upper triangular matrix, where we can use the diagonal elements also there. If you are including the diagonal elements, so these are said to be the strictly upper triangular matrix. Okay. Now coming to the lower triangular matrix. Observe these all the patterns. Very important question is going to come here. Lower triangular matrix, LTA. It can be defined like this. A square matrix A equals to Aij be a square matrix is said to be lower triangular matrix. Lower triangular matrix where all Aij equals to 0. Where Aij equals to 0 for all I and j, for all I and j, such that see the position for the lower triangular matrix, these upper elements above the diagonal elements must be 0. So see the position Ij. What is greater here? J is greater. It can be written here where I is smaller than j or j is greater than I. So we can say that this triangle will becomes to a lower triangular matrix. Getting the point? Now by an example it can be also understood like this. C is a square matrix. Here 3 by 3. We can say here in the diagonal elements, all the diagonal elements are here, and above the diagonal elements all the are 0. And what is the position? I and j. Here I and j. This is the position. This is the position here. 1 2. 1 2. Then which is greater? J is greater here. For 1 3, j is greater. Here 2 3, j is greater. Then for all such conditions, we can say this is your lower triangular matrix. Next one is strictly lower triangular. Strictly lower triangular, the same condition A equals to Aij n by n be a square matrix where Aij is equals to 0 for what? For all I and j such such that I is, if you are including the diagonal elements here, if you are including the diagonal elements, it means all the diagonal elements, then I must be smaller than j, or it can be also j. So if it becomes 0 here, then this will be your strictly lower triangular matrix. Clear to everyone? 2 points basically we have discussed: lower triangular matrix and upper triangular matrix, and what are the representation of the lower triangular matrix, what are the representation of the upper triangular matrix, what are the representation of the strictly upper triangular and strictly lower triangular. Now one very important question arises here is, suppose A is a triangular matrix. If I say triangular matrix, then triangular matrix means it can be upper, it can be lower, anyone can be. Now suppose A be a triangular matrix. Now important point here, A11, A12, A13, so on to A1n, A21, A22, A23, A2n, A31, A32, A33, A3n, so on to AN1, AN2, AN3 and AN. This is a square matrix of order n by n, and these are the diagonal elements of the square matrix. Now one very important result we are going to discuss: the elements below the diagonal elements and elements above the diagonal elements. These elements in number below the diagonal elements, whatever the number of the elements below the diagonal and whatever the number of elements above the diagonal elements, both are same. Both are same, and we can say here if A21 is there, 21, then what is the opposite of this one? If you will find the image of this one, then that will be your A12. If you will find the mirror image of this one, then that is your 12. A31 is there, then mirror image is your 13. So these are also, all the lower elements are symmetric to the upper elements. It means this diagonal elements will be treated as a mirror, and the lower part is symmetric to the upper part. The number of elements below the diagonal and above the diagonal both are same. Clear? Now what we are going to discuss, now the point is that to be the triangular matrix, I am repeating here, triangular matrix means it must be the lower, it can be lower, it can be your upper. Now the question is that if a triangular matrix is, suppose that it is a lower matrix, lower triangular matrix, then definitely all the upper part will be 0. And if it is your upper triangular, then lower part will be 0. Now the question says here, what the question is here? The question is that minimum number of zeros. Minimum number of zeros of a triangular matrix. What is the meaning of this question? Minimum number of zeros. A square matrix, suppose a square matrix is there of n by n order, and the question asks that what is the criteria? How many minimum number of zeros must be there? How many minimum number of zeros must be there so that a square matrix turn to a triangular matrix? Getting the point or not? The point is that in a square matrix, how many minimum number of zeros must be there? Minimum number of zeros must be there, so this square matrix will turn to a triangular matrix. And again and again I am repeating, triangular matrix means either it can be upper or either it can be lower. Getting the point? Now the question is clear. One more example, let us consider. Question is that how many minimum number of zeros are there so this 3 by 3 order square matrix will turn to, because all the elements below the diagonal are 0, so this will turn to upper triangular matrix. How many minimum number of zeros is required? So minimum number of zeros is required is 3. It means if all these 3 elements will be 0, so this square matrix will turn to the upper triangular matrix. Now I think the question is clear. Minimum number of zeros of a triangular matrix. Getting the point? Now, what is the minimum number? Now for this one, this square matrix n by n, suppose I ask what is the total number of elements? Total number of elements. This example, by this example you can understand easily ki what the question is there. Total number of elements, if it is your n by n order, if order is given, then we can find the total number of elements n into n, and that is equals to n square. Now in a diagonal matrix, if it is a square matrix, then how many diagonals are there? If 2 by 2 order, then how many diagonals? 2. If 3 by 3, then 3. How many order? N by n order, then how many diagonals are there? Then the diagonal elements is your n by n, then total diagonal elements is your n. Can it be? We have already discussed ki below the diagonal and above the diagonal, whatever the elements below the diagonal and whatever the elements above the diagonal, both are symmetric, then both are same. We don't know how many elements are there. Let the number of elements is x. So here it will be also x. Getting the point? So now if these elements, this is all the diagonal and this is all the elements, if we will add here x plus n, and that is equals to n square, it means these all the 3 part, if you will add, then definitely these all are the elements of a square matrix having the order n by n, and n by n is there, then total elements will be equals to n square. This equation will be equal here. Now x plus x, that is 2x, and n square minus of n. X equals to n square minus n by 2. What actually x is here? What actually x is here? We have discussed here na, what actually the x is there. X is these parts. This is the part here. So what is the minimum number of zeros? So this square matrix will turn to a triangular matrix. So what is the minimum number? Here 3 is there. Then what is the minimum number of zeros? So this square matrix will turn to a triangular matrix. So minimum number of zeros equals to this x. And what is the value of x? X is equals to n square minus n by 2. Clear? Okay, now for the example, suppose let us check this condition here 3 by 3. Suppose n is equals to 3 here, then n equals to 3 square minus 3 by 2. 3 3s are 9, 9 minus 3 equals to 6, 6 by 2, and that is equals to 3. See how many minimum number of zeros is coming? 3, and we have already the minimum number of zeros equals to 3. Clear? This will be possible for the lower triangular as well as the upper triangular. Again I am repeating, this is the very important question here. Minimum number of zeros. Moving to the next point. Next, the very important again here, maximum number of distinct element in a triangular matrix. Maximum number of distinct element in a triangular matrix. What is the meaning of this question? Again, this is very important. Try to understand with an example what the question is there actually. Let us consider triangular matrix. Whenever the triangular matrix is coming, then you have to understand either it can be lower or either it can be upper. Let us consider an example of a triangular matrix. This is 3 by 3 order matrix, and this is your lower triangular matrix, because above the diagonal elements all elements are 0, so this is your lower triangular matrix. Now what the question asks here, actually the question is that maximum number of distinct element in a triangular matrix. Maximum number of distinct element. The meaning of this question is that how many distinct elements are there in this 3 by 3 order square matrix, so the 3 by 3 order matrix will turn to a triangular matrix. Getting the point? How many distinct elements are there in a square matrix, so the square matrix will turn to a triangular matrix. Because this is a square matrix and we have turned this square matrix to a triangular matrix. So what is the maximum number of distinct element? Distinct element means that the elements which are different. All elements are different. So see, according to this question, how many different elements are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 diagonals different, all the 3 diagonals different, and all the elements below the diagonal elements, all 3 are there, then all 3 are different. Now above the 3, definitely below the diagonal 3 elements are there, so above the diagonal also 3 elements will be there. But if you will consider these 3 elements, are these actually 3 elements same here? These are the position here, elements position is 3, but the elements is same. All the elements are your 0. So how many total distinct elements are there? Then the total distinct element is your 1. Question is clear now? What actually question asks here, if a square matrix of order n by n is there, then how many maximum number of distinct element can be there? The maximum number of distinct element can be there. This is the question. Now let us see the general formula. Let A be a square matrix of order n by n. Now the question is there that A be a square matrix of order n by n, and this square matrix is a triangular matrix. Then triangular matrix means it can be lower, it can be upper. Let us consider this, it is a upper triangular matrix. Then upper triangular matrix, then all the elements below the diagonal elements will be 0. So all these will be 0. Getting the point now? So now see, how many maximum number of distinct element can be there? Maximum number of distinct element. So if it is your of order n by n, then how many distinct diagonal can be there? N distinct diagonal can be there. Plus, if it is your upper triangular matrix, then below the diagonal elements all elements are 0. All elements will be your 0 here. So how many distinct elements actually? How many distinct element actually? The position we have discussed in the previous one, we have laid that this is your x. So above the diagonal that will be also x. That will be also x. So, but if this is the x number is there. But on all the x number, which element we have placed? We have placed only 0 and all the zeros are same. So how many distinct element? In the upper triangular this will be your 1. But in the upper part, the elements above the diagonal element, that will be your the number of element is equals to x. And what we have discussed, what is the total number of element? What is the total value of x? X we have discussed n square minus n by 2. So that is your n square minus of n by 2. Solve this one. This is your 2n plus of 2 plus n square minus of n by 2. And if you will solve here, then n square plus of n plus of 2 by 2. This is the maximum number of distinct element in a triangular matrix. Maximum number of distinct element in a triangular matrix. Let us check this example. If it is your 3 by 3 order, so what is the Put the value here. 3 square. This is your 3 by 3. N equals to 3. Then 3 square plus of 3 plus of 2 by 2. 3 square is equals to 9. 9 plus 3 plus 2, 5 by 2. 9 plus 5, 14 by 2, and that is equals to coming 7. And we have checked also with the 3 distinct element, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 element below the diagonal, and all the above the diagonal 3 positions are there, but the element is same. So that is 1. And how many total distinct? 7 and 7 both are same here. So this is also very important formula. So what we have discussed in this lecture, we have discussed the triangular matrix. What is triangular matrix? A square matrix which is either upper or either lower are said to be a triangular matrix. In a triangular matrix, the minimum number of zeros, and that is equals to n square minus n by 2. Do not learn this all the formula. Just try to understand the concept here. The below the diagonal, above the diagonal elements are same. Let this is x, and the n by order, n order is there. Then n elements x plus n, that is equals to n square. Solve this. This you will get this one. This is the minimum number of zeros, and the maximum distinct element. What will be the maximum number of distinct element? Then the maximum number of distinct element is equals to this one. Okay. Moving to the next point. Orthogonal matrix. Orthogonal matrix. What is orthogonal matrix? A square matrix A is said to be orthogonal matrix if A into A transpose equals to A transpose into A, that is equals to I. A into A transpose equals to A transpose into A, and that is equals to I, then A is said to be orthogonal. Orthogonal matrix. Let us consider an example. A is equals to if A is there, then find A transpose. How to find the transpose? Cos theta minus sin theta, or sin theta cos theta. Find here A into A transpose. First matrix, first row, second matrix, first column. Cos into cos, cos square theta, and sin into sin, minus and minus plus, sin square theta. Now A12, cos into sin, cos theta into sin theta, and minus sin theta into cos theta. This is your sin theta cos theta minus cos theta sin theta. Now sin square of theta plus cos square theta. If you will solve, this will be cancelled, this will be cancelled. Sin square theta 1, 0, 0, 1. We are getting I here. Similarly, if you will find here A transpose into A, then it will be, if you will find here A transpose into A, then it will also be I. Thus the result is there A into A transpose equals to A transpose into A, that is equals to I. This is the case for the orthogonal matrix. Very simple point is this one. Question will ask, check that a given matrix is orthogonal. So this is the criteria to check that the given matrix is orthogonal matrix. Now before, we have to discuss the properties of orthogonal. Properties of orthogonal. Before starting the properties of the orthogonal, few points we have to discuss. This chapter we are discussing is named as matrix, and the next chapter is determinant. Determinant. Now what is the determinant? What is the definition of the determinant? I will not go in very details. Just simply the point which will be used in properties of orthogonal, I am going to explain this one. for every square matrix, matrix is the arrangement of number, and for such arrangement there are different kinds of arrangement. For such arrangement where the row and column are same are said to be the square matrix, and the determinant is possible only for the square matrix. Determinant is possible only for the square matrix. So if A be a square matrix, then the determinant of A is denoted by this sign. The representation of this is the representation of matrix, and this is the representation of determinant. Determinant, the very first important point what you have to keep in your mind, determinant is always calculated for a square matrix. And what is, if A is a square matrix, then the determinant of this A is given by this sign. Second point, how to find the determinant of a square matrix. Quickly let's just check here. Suppose A is a square matrix of order 1 by 1. 1 by 1. So the determinant of this matrix will be the same. Suppose A is a matrix here, the determinant of this matrix will be your 1. Whatever the number is there, the same number. Suppose they are 2 by 2 order matrix. 2 by 2 order matrix is there. Then what is the determinant here? This is called the principal diagonal. The product of the principal diagonal, AD. And this is off diagonal, then minus product of the off diagonal. Principal diagonal product minus off diagonal product. This is the value of the second order determinant. This is the way to solve the second order determinant. Getting the point? Suppose it is your 3 by 3 order. Now the 3 by 3 order determinant, we are going to find the determinant value of this one. It can be expanded through any row or any column. This can be expanded through any row or any column. But there is a certain criteria. The first element sign is taken as positive, the sign is negative, and the third positive. Alternate sign is there. Why this sign is there, we will discuss in very details when we will discuss the chapter determinant. First we have to know only here कि while expanding the determinant, we are expanding through the first row here. So the first element sign is positive, second negative, and third positive. How to find the determinant? Suppose we are expanding through this first row. So whatever the element you are taking, you have to delete that row and that column. Where the element is at the position, at which position A11 is there, then delete that row and delete that column. What is remaining here? 4, 5, 2, 3, and it is just looking like a 2 by 2 order determinant. And how to solve the 2 by 2 order determinant, you know here. So this will be in the multiplication. 1 we have taken 1 into 4 into 3, 4 into 3, product there, 4 into 3, 12, and minus 5 into 10. Minus, now you are taking minus 2, then minus of 2. I told you, whatever the element you are taking, delete this row and delete this column. Now what is remaining? 0, 0, 5, 3. This is also 0, 5, 0, 3. If you will see, this is also a 2 by 2 order determinant. Then this is 0 minus 0, that is 0. Now plus 3. Again, if you will take 3 here, then this will cancel, this will cancel. What will be left here? 0, 4, 0, 2. Again 0, then 0. Now you will see here 12 minus 10 equals to 2. Then this is your determinant of A is equals to 2. In a quick manner, we have discussed how to find the determinant value of a square matrix of order 1 order, 2 order, or 3 order. So the 2 point you have to just keep in your mind. If A is a square matrix, then determinant is denoted by this one, and this is the way to solve the determinant value. Third point. If A and B are the two matrices of the same order, such that their product can be possible, and if you are going to find the determinant of this AB, so the determinant of AB will be determinant of A into determinant of B. The two matrices determinant can be easily multiplied, then we will get the product of the AB matrix and determinant there. It means if A and B are the two matrices, then the determinant of AB will be equal to determinant of A into determinant of B. Okay? These 3 points we have discussed. Next point. if determinant of A is not equals to 0, is not equals to 0, before this one, if determinant of A is equals to 0, then A is said to be singular. It is said to be singular matrix. Singular matrix. And if A is non-zero, then that is said to be non-singular. Non-singular matrix. Now what is singular matrix and what is non-singular? Singular for a square matrix whose determinant is 0 is said to be singular, and whose determinant is not 0 is said to be non-singular. Just quickly relate this term to the term which we have discussed in the elementary transformation while we are solving the inverse of a matrix. I told you I am relating this concept there to elementary transformation while we are solving the inverse there. One statement I told you, while finding the inverse of a square matrix, if we are applying the different kinds of elementary operation and we are getting all the elements of a row or all the elements of a column 0, all the elements of a row or all the elements of a column 0, then the node point was there. In such case, the determinant, the inverse of that matrix will not exist. If you will remember the point, the statement was like that. Now what is the relation to this concept to this concept? The concept relation is there. If only those matrix will gives the inverse. Only those matrix will gives the inverse which determinant is not equals to 0. Whose determinant is not equals to 0. It means to give the inverse of any matrix, it must be non-singular. It must be non-singular. It means that if we are finding the inverse and all the elements we are getting 0, then definitely there the determinant of such matrix will be 0, and that matrix will be your which type of matrix? Singular matrix. Getting the point? Okay. So 4 points. Basically determinant representation, how to find the determinant value, the product AB, singular and non-singular. You need to keep it in your mind. Now coming to the properties of the orthogonal matrix. The first property, actually that by the definition A into A transpose equals to A transpose into A, that is equals to I. Now just remember the point, if two matrices we are multiplying and we are getting I, what is the condition for this one? We can say here that this is the condition for the invertible matrix. This is the condition for the invertible matrix. And what is the invertible matrix? If AB is equals to B is equals to I, then A inverse equals to B. So here for a time being, suppose if you will take this is your B, then AB equals to B equals to I, then we can say here A inverse equals to A transpose. A inverse is equals to A transpose. So this is the very important result we are getting. If A is a orthogonal matrix, then the inverse of that matrix will be equals to its transpose. The inverse of that matrix is equals to its transpose. Getting the point? This is the first point. Second point. Actually, this statement can be also proved by some another way. How this can be proved here? This is the logical, we have taken the concept of the invertible matrix. This can be also proved like this. If A into A transpose, we are taking the A into A transpose equals to I. Because the A is which kind of matrix? Invertible. So its inverse can be possible. Pre-multiplication with A inverse. Pre-multiplication with A inverse. It can be done because A is an invertible matrix, then A inverse into A, that is equals to I, A transpose. A inverse into I, that is your A inverse. I multiply to any matrix, that is your A transpose equals to A inverse. See, you are getting the same result here. Then this can be proved like this also. Second property, I into I transpose. I into I transpose or I transpose into I, that is equals to I. No need to prove this example. By yourself you can solve this one. Identity matrix and its transpose. identity transpose or identity. If you will solve, you will get the same matrix there, identity. Third and the very important point, how to find the orthogonal matrix. Suppose that A is an orthogonal matrix, then A into A transpose, that is equals to I. That is equals to I. It can be. Okay. Taking the determinant to the both side. Determinant to the both side. Very, very important point. Just we have discussed AB determinant, that is equals to A determinant into B determinant. We are going to use the formula here, and by this result it can be A determinant into A transpose determinant. And what is the identity matrix? See the definition. Identity matrix 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. If you will find the determinant of this identity matrix, I told you how to find. Suppose you are expanding through the first row. First, then this is plus minus minus 1. Delete this row, this column. This row, this column. 1 0 0 1. Product 1 minus 0. Now if you will minus 0, if you will multiply whatever the value it is coming, if you are multiplying by 0, then all will be 0. If you are multiplying by 0, then all will be 0. Then what result we are getting? 1. So just remember one point. If it is your identity matrix, then do not find the determinant like this. Simply in the case of identity matrix, the product of all the diagonals will be given by the determinant value. And not only in the case of identity matrix, in the case of diagonal matrix. What was the diagonal matrix? In a diagonal matrix means, just for example, suppose a diagonal matrix ABC 0 0 0 0 0 0. This is a diagonal matrix. All the elements except the diagonal elements are 0. And if you are going to find the determinant of this diagonal matrix, then simply find the product of this all the diagonal ABC. This is the required diagonal. This is the required determinant value. Okay. So here, if you will find here, if you will find here I determinant, then that is equals to 1. So put the value I equals to 1. I is equals to 1. Now again one property is here. If I is there, just by this example it can be solved here. If I is there, what will be the I transpose? Again I transpose will be 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Now there is another property, the determinant of matrix A. If A is a matrix and the determinant of matrix, the same matrix, that is your A transpose, determinant of matrix A and its transpose determinant, both values are same. What is the meaning? Again I am repeating, if I is a matrix and if the determinant is coming here 1, find the I transpose. I transpose if you will find here, so if you will find the I transpose, again we will get the identity matrix. And what will be the I transpose determinant? See, again we are getting 1. So this is not for only the identity matrix, this is for the every square matrix. If you will find the determinant of a matrix and if you will find the determinant of its transpose matrix, both will be same. Okay, we will discuss these all the points in very details when we will discuss the determinant chapter. So now what will happen here? The determinant of A and the determinant of A transpose both are same. So can it be written determinant of A? Because here this one and this one are same, that is equals to 2. Can it be written determinant of A square equals to 1? Now determinant of A is equals to plus minus of 4. Then very important result we are getting, if A is an orthogonal matrix, then the determinant of A must be either it will be your 1 or either it will be your minus 1. This is the point. Next one. If A is orthogonal, then A transpose is orthogonal. Let me check the back tree. A is orthogonal, then A transpose is also orthogonal. What is the meaning here? A is orthogonal, then A into A transpose, that is equals to I. Now what we have to prove? A transpose is also orthogonal. Let us consider A transpose equals to B. Then B, we have to prove that B is also orthogonal. Then what is the meaning here? B is also orthogonal means B into B transpose, that is equals to I. We need to prove here, and this is given. We have discussed so many questions on this format. A is symmetric, then prove that A minus A plus A transpose is symmetric. A plus A minus A transpose is skew symmetric. This is the similar question. Again I am repeating, A is orthogonal, then prove that A transpose is also orthogonal. The proof is not required here. Simply this is the statement, but I am just going to prove this one, why this is so. A is orthogonal means A into A transpose equals to I. Now A transpose is also orthogonal. For this one, let B A transpose equals to B, then we have to prove that B into B transpose equals to I. Let LHS. B into B transpose. What B we have taken? B we have taken A transpose. Now A transpose, the whole transpose. A transpose. We have discussed the properties of transpose. A transpose into transpose, that is equals to A. And we have discussed A transpose into A for the orthogonal. It can be also written A transpose into A, and thus it is equals to I. So this is the proof here. So what result it can be there? If A is an orthogonal matrix, then A transpose is also orthogonal. The last property. If A is orthogonal, then A inverse is also orthogonal. A is orthogonal, then A inverse is also orthogonal. The same proof if you have to do like the proof which we have done in the previous question. This is the statement here. If A is orthogonal, then A inverse is also orthogonal. Try this question. If you feel any problem, then you can ask on the WhatsApp group there. So now what we have discussed in this video, in this lecture, we have discussed the triangular matrix, upper triangular, strictly upper triangular, lower triangular, strictly lower triangular, the minimum number of zeros in a triangular matrix, the maximum number of distinct elements in a triangular matrix, the orthogonal matrix, and the properties of the orthogonal matrix. Now in the one more video is required. We have to discuss in the next video the idempotent matrix, nilpotent matrix, trace of a matrix. The 3 or 4 points are remaining here. We will discuss in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.